Hello viewers of Play the Game. This is Siphon. Today I'm going to be talking about the Extinction game mode, primarily pertaining to its future in the sense of storyline and a potential map. It links both to Ben's album and the game mode, and in my mind, this theory is still very much in its infancy. The following is going to be a kind of extract from the Crow's chat between me and a guy called Isaac Holloway. It begins with us discussing the song that you're actually hearing in the background at the moment, Hive Mind. He asked me what some of the things meant in the song, and I say that I think that this song is, for lack of a better word, sung by the cryptids, or another race that I call the controllers, which are going to be these sort of higher life forms that built both the obelisk and the ark. In my mind, there's no way that the cryptids could have built these things. The cryptids are purely animalistic in their nature. I mean, of course, like a hive of termites can build amazing things, and they're only animals. But language and structure, as we see in these two things, are completely beyond them. As you heard Samantha Cross say, there was an entire ecosystem 300 million years ago. It's not that these cryptids were the only creatures upon Earth at the time, it's more like they were a predatorial species, in the sense of a modern lion or a tiger. I predict that there has to be some kind of controlling force that has language and were able to create both the obelisk and the ark. Isaac continued by asking me what the phrase, "we feel the earth begin to move" means, and I thus respond with that could reference either the cryptids or the controllers being woken from their slumber by the Odin strikes, presumably waking them up, that they then feel the earth begin to move and come back to life as they regain consciousness. The next phrase he asked me about was "the light shining through." This could simply represent the light from the hole that the Odin strike had left in their cave system, offering them a quick and easy way out of their presumed labyrinths or their enclosed cavern below. The creatures are confused. The world is no longer what they're used to. They don't know what they're meant to do now that their version of the Earth has been erased. Isaac then asks me what the phrase "the time has come to live or be consumed" could mean, further questioning my belief on whether this song is sung by the cryptids or controllers. My response was simple. We never once see a cryptid devour or consume a human. They maim and kill and destroy humanity, yes, but never once do we see them become used or consumed by cryptids. That's all done by humanity. Humans have consumed what the controllers and cryptids regard to be their Eden, using it for fuel and resource. They've taken the cryptid species, done experiments on them. Humanity essentially uses or consumes everything in its path. To be fair, my primary thought is that Archer is trying to weaponize the cryptids. He was ousted from the military, and this unknown figure that he is communicating with calls him a traitor. That all leads me to believe that Archer wants revenge on his former country, and will do anything in his power to achieve that, even if it means selling highly dangerous super soldiers in the form of cryptids to mysterious forces. I believe that the answer to that control lies in either the obelisk, the arcs, or both. The problem for me at this point in time is Cross. It seems that the cryptids fear her, and at one point even obey her. This backs up my theory of control, however. If she has figured out what the obelisk says, then that means to a certain degree she understands the language of the controllers. If the cryptids for some reason fear the controllers, they would undeniably show fear to someone that could speak in their tongue. If they have been biologically bred, then they would naturally listen to someone who speaks the language of their creators. In fact, that brings me neatly onto my next small point. I believe that the cryptids we see may in fact be a genetically modified species, bred specifically for protecting the controllers. You have to remember, The time that we've been given for the cryptids living on Earth was approximately 300 million years ago. If we look at this on a real timescale, the only plausible extinction level event would be the Permian mass extinction, also known as the Great Dying. This is in fact predicted that the two highest possible events of extinction in those times were probably a mix of flood basalt eruptions and an asteroid impact, igniting the oxygen. Surprise, surprise, this is what we see happen on the early Earth or cryptid homeworld. In any case, this extinction happened 248 million years ago, so from the information we have from the intel and the information we have here, that leaves at least 52 million years of potential cryptid inhabitation. It's said that humanity has only been on Earth for 6 to 7 million years. They could have at least lived on this planet for 7.4 times longer than that. That's more than enough time for sentient life to form, and then develop enough technologically to engineer a race of super soldiers. I believe that is what the controllers have done with the cryptids. Now, finally, in the ending cutscene of Nightfall we see the boat, and upon it Cross undergoing a conversion much like what Ben describes in the Blood Notes of his album. Perhaps they are trying to allow Cross to tap into the cryptid's brain that we see on the table. Archer says that Cross knows the location of the rest of the arcs, or actually more specifically, he says that he knows someone. Maybe this someone is not Cross, but instead the cryptid they have chained up there. If she somehow tapped into its brain, she may be the only one that could make enough sense out of its thoughts to process where the other arcs are, due to her slight proficiency in the ancient language. Perhaps even further than that, perhaps maybe, just maybe, the cryptids work on this sort of hive mind. That if she taps into one cryptid's brain, to a degree, she taps into the minds of all of the cryptids. Now, for DLC 2, everyone is, for some reason, making the immediate conclusion that it will take place on the boat that we see in the ending cutscene. Of course, that is kind of a likely occurrence. However, I see in my own mind that the boat will either become a playable map further on in the future, say DLC 3 or 4, and not at the moment. However, if we do see the boat in DLC 2, I think it will be on some kind of harbour or port. Our objective would be to, once again, mine up hives until we get to the boat. Our primary objective would be to get to the boat and save Cross. An objective that we would inevitably fail once again because of that big bad underwater beastie that we see in the cutscene. In any case, this is all I have thus far. So, this is Siphon, and thank you